Is this dining philosopher's problem? So this is the classical problem which is used to achieve the process synchronization. So here you can see two diagrams. On the left hand side one figure is there, and on the right hand side one image is there. So what is this? What this image is representing? So it is representing the dining philosopher's problem. So here on the left hand side, in the left hand side figure, you can observe that here five philosophers are there. That is P1, P2, P3, P4, and P5. So five philosophers are there. So they are sitting around the circular table, and their job is to think and eat alternatively. So here we can relate these philosophers with the process. That is, five processes are there. And what is the job of this philosopher, or what is the job of the process? So this process or this philosopher, he or she is thinking and she is eating. So when the philosopher is thinking, that time she is not eating, and when she is performing the when she is eating, that time she is not thinking. Okay, so the circular table, it is shared by these five philosophers. And here at the center of the table, a bowl of noodle or rice, it is placed at the center of the table, and this bowl of noodle or rice, it is shared by all these philosophers, that is by these five philosophers. Okay, so and here the five chopsticks are given to these five philosophers. So now here these five philosophers, they are eating with the help of this chopstick. And for eating, the philosopher, they needs both the chopsticks. That is, suppose let us consider the philosopher P1. Suppose philosopher P1, he want to eat the noodle which is placed at the center of the table. Then P1, he will need the chopstick which is placed on the right hand side and on the left hand side of him. Okay, so if P2 want to eat, then again P2 will also require both the chopstick which are placed on the left hand side and right hand side, and these five chopsticks. So these chopsticks that are considered as a resource here. Noodle is also considered as resource, table is also resource, and chopstick is also resource. So in the right hand side figure, you can observe that here let us consider that these philosophers, they are sitting around a circular table, and they are sharing the noodle. And here each philosopher, he is eating that noodles or he is eating that rice by using the two chopsticks. Means they require two chopsticks to eat that noodle. It is not possible for the philosopher to eat the noodles by using the single chopstick. Okay, so here, means suppose now P1 is hungry and P1 want to eat the rice. Then that time, suppose P1, he will pick up the chopstick which is present on his left hand side, and he will pick up the chopstick which is present on the right hand side. And if both the chopsticks are available, then he is able to eat. But let us consider that P1, he pick up the chopstick which is present on the left hand side of him, and at the same time P5 is also hungry. So P5, he will pick up the chopstick which is present on the left hand side and on the right hand side of P5. Then that time the for P1, suppose P1 and P5 both are hungry at the same time, and here P5, he pick up both the chopsticks. Then that time when P1, he want to eat, that time only left hand side chopstick is available and right hand side chopstick is not available. So P1, he is not able to eat. So what P1 will do that time, because only one chopstick is available, so P1, he will put down the chopstick which is present in his left hand, and again he will start thinking. So philosopher, he will eat only when both the chopsticks are available, which is present on his left hand side and on his right hand side. So this is the main condition which is used to achieve the process synchronization over here. Will represent this dining philosopher problem by using this code. Okay, so see, five philosophers are there, and instead of chopstick, now I am using the F word, that is fork. So here you can observe that P0 philosopher is there. So on the right hand side of this philosopher, the fork F1 is there, and on the left hand side the fork F0 is there. And to eat the P0 philosopher, he will require the fork F0 and F1. Then only he is able to eat. And so here capital N, it is representing the total number of forks present. So total number of forks present on the table are 5, and 5 philosophers are there. So now how this system will work? So now let us consider, now here we will consider the index value. So let us consider the variable I. So we will start from 0, because here we are starting the number of the philosopher, numbering the philosopher from 0. and we are numbering the fork from 0. So that's why here we will take the variable I and we will consider that value of I it is equal to 0. So at first process P0 will start. That is, let us consider that these 5 philosophers, they are sitting around the table and initially they are thinking. Now this philosopher P0, he is hungry. So now philosopher P0 is hungry. So that time he want to eat the rice which is placed at the center. So what he will do, for performing the eating operation, this P0 it has to execute the function. It has to execute the code which is written inside this philosopher function. Okay. So P0 it will execute this philosopher function, and after that it will execute that while true. So this condition is always true. Okay. So initially he was thinking, but now he is hungry, so he want to eat the food. So what he will do, at first he will pick up the fork which is present on his left hand side. So for that, see how it will pick up that. So it will execute this function, that is take fork and value of I is equal to 0. So value of I is equal to 0, its meaning is that at first it will pick up the left hand side fork, that is F0. So he will pick up the left hand side fork, that is F0. Okay, but now again he will require the another fork which is present on the right hand side. So he will execute the take fork function. So he will execute this function, and here take fork, and here we are passing the value I plus 1. So value of I is 0 here. So 0 plus 1. So 0 plus 1 means 1 modulus n. So capital N, it is representing the total number of forks which is present on your table. So here 1 modulus 5. So tell me what is the answer of this 1 modulus 5. That is, we are dividing the number 1 by 5, and after that here we are saving the remainder. 1 modulus 5 is 1 because we are dividing 1 by 5 and here we are saving the remainder. So remainder value is 1. So now here he will take the right hand side fork. So what is the index value of the right hand side fork? It is 1. Okay. So here you are getting 1. Its meaning is that your philosopher P0, he will pick up the fork 1. That is F1. So he will pick up the fork F1. So here you can observe that take fork. So this value is 1. 1, it is nothing but the index value of the fork. So he will pick up the right hand side fork. After that, he will perform the eat operation. Now both the forks are in the hand of philosopher. So now he is able to eat. So he will perform the eat operation. And once he will finish the eating operation, then what is the duty of the philosopher? So duty of the philosopher is to put down the fork which is present in his left hand and in his right hand, so that other philosopher will use that. Okay. Okay, Sonam. So now what he will do? So the philosopher P0, he will put down the left hand side fork and he will put down the right hand side fork. So this process of the P0 is completed. So again P0, he will start thinking again. So he is in the thinking phase. Now let us consider philosopher P1. P1 is hungry now. So now P1 is hungry. So what this philosopher P1 will do? So if he want to eat the noodle which is placed at the center, then he has to execute the code which is written inside this philosopher function. So here process P1 will start. So what this process P1 will do now? So at first this process P1, from this left hand side diagram, you can observe that P1, the fork F1, it is placed on the left hand side of P1, and F2, it is placed on the right hand side of the P1. So now he will pick up the fork F1 and F2 by executing take fork I and take fork I plus 1. So here value of I, it is equal to 1. So value of I is equal to 1. So 1, it is nothing but the index value of the fork. So he will pick up the fork which is present on the left hand side, that is F1. And then he will execute the next function. So value of I is equal to 1. So here 1 plus 1, it is equal to 2. It is 2. So 2, it is representing the index value of the fork. So he will pick up the fork which is present on his right hand side. So what he will do now, he will pick up the fork F1, he will pick up the fork F2. After that, he will perform the eating operation, and once the eating operation is finished, then he will put down the fork which is present on his left hand side, that is F1, and the fork which is present on the right hand side. So like this means he is putting down that fork so that other philosophers are able to use that fork. So have you understood this process, that how it is working? So now see, for I equal to 2, so for I equal to 2, again, if the philosopher P2 is hungry, then P2, he will execute this code, and then he will pick up the fork which is present on this on his left hand side, that is F2, and here 2 plus 1 is 3. So 3 modulus n is 3. So he will pick up the fork which is present on the left hand side and right hand side, that is F2 and F3 respectively. And once he will finish his eating, then he will put down that fork. So same procedure is continued for the philosopher P3. So philosopher P3, he will pick up the fork F3 and F4 by executing this take fork function. And once he will finish his eating, then he will put down that fork. Now here next philosopher is philosopher P4. Okay, so now see, for the philosopher P4, he, if he is hungry, then he will execute this code. So now here value of I is equal to 4. So he will take the fork which is present on his left hand side. So on his left hand side, F4 is present. So here I, it is representing the index value of the fork. So he will pick up the fork F4, and after that, now here next value is take fork. Here 4 plus 1 modulus 5. So tell me what is the answer of this? You want to pick up the right hand side fork. So for this 4 plus 1 modulus 5. 5 modulus 5. So its remainder is 0. Its meaning is that 0 is representing the index value of the fork. So he will pick up the fork which is present on the right hand side, that is F0. Okay. So like this they are performing the operation of thinking and eating. So here all the processes are working in the mutually exclusive manner. Means at a time only one process or one philosopher is eating. So because of that, deadlock is not occurred. But now let us consider the case 2. So that was the case 1, that was the simple case. In that case, no deadlock was there, no race condition was there, because all the resources that were shared by the philosophers simultaneously. Now let us consider the case 2. Now in the case 2, let us consider that P0 is hungry. So this philosopher P0 is hungry. So then he will execute this code, and now here from thinking phase he will enter into the eating phase. So for performing the eating operation, he required the left hand side fork and right hand side fork. So at first he will execute the take fork function, value of I is equal to 0. So I equal to 0 means he will pick up the F0 fork. But now let us consider that now as we are using the multiprocessing environment, suppose you are using, you have allotted some time slot to each process. So now suppose the time slot of the process P0 is over after performing this take fork operation. Means once he pick up the left hand side fork, so the time slot which is allocated to P0, it is over. So because of that, that process P0 or philosopher P0, it will enter into the it will again enter into the ready state, because that process or philosopher P0 is preempted because of the time slot. So all of you know that what is the difference in between preemptive and non-preemptive scheduling. So preemptive scheduling means if the philosopher or process is currently using the CPU, and if the time slot is over, or suppose some higher priority process is entered into the ready queue, or suppose some hardware interrupt is occur, then the process which is currently executing the CPU, that will get interrupted and another process will enter into the run state. So here is consider the same case. Simply by taking the left hand side fork, this P0 is preempted from the run state. After that, P1 it entered, P1 is hungry, so P1 it entered into this philosopher function, and he will execute the first function, that is process P1, he want to eat. So philosopher P1, he will pick up the fork which is present on his left hand side. So philosopher P1, he will pick up the fork which is present on the left hand side, and the time this process P1 is also preempted. Means before he will before taking the right hand side fork, the philosopher P1 is also preempted and he is again entered into the ready state. And suppose process P2 it entered into the run state. Then process P2 again it will perform the same action. He will pick up the fork which is present on his left hand side, that is he will pick up the fork F2, and again process P2 it is preempted because of the process P3. Okay, so process P3 it will execute the philosopher function, and process P3 it will pick up the fork which is present on the left hand side, that is F3, and process P3 it is preempted because of the process P4, that is philosopher P4. So P4 will enter into the run state and it will pick up the fork which is present on the left hand side, that is he pick up the fork which is present on the left hand side, which is F4. And now here you can observe that only 5 forks were there and 5 philosophers are there, and all the philosophers are holding the resources, that is P0 is holding the one of the resources and it is waiting for the resource which is already held by the philosopher P1. P1 is holding the resource F1 and it is waiting for the resource, or it is waiting for the fork which is already held by the process P2. So this condition is called as rest condition. So what is race condition? It is undesirable situation where system attempts to perform 2 or more operations at the same time. And here you can observe that deadlock is occurred. How this deadlock can be avoided? By using the dining philosopher's problem. Dining philosopher problem, it is written by using the semaphore. So if you can compare this same code which is written by using this semaphore with the code which is written previously. So at first you write down this code, that is dining philosopher's problem by using the semaphore. So here you can observe that only two changes are there. So initially the take fork function was written for picking up the left hand side fork and the right hand side fork. Simply now here by using the wait operation. And here when the philosopher is releasing the resource, that time here for this put fork operation by using the signal operations. Okay, so now I am representing all the forks by using the another variables s0 s1 up to s4. Okay, now here as we are using the semaphore variable here, so by using the semaphore here we are avoiding the deadlock. So when the philosopher, suppose philosopher is initially thinking, then that time the forks are all the forks that are present on the table. Suppose the philosopher they want to eat, then they want to perform the eating operation. That time the philosopher they will enter into the critical section, and inside the critical section they are performing these two operations. That is, they are taking the left hand side fork, they are taking the right hand side fork, and after that they are performing the eat operation. So to enter into the critical section, the philosopher or these processes must have to execute the wait function. Okay, for entering into the critical section, the wait function it should be executed, and when the philosopher he will perform his eating operation, that time to come out from the critical section, the philosopher or process has to execute the signal function. So wait function is returned to entered into the critical section, and the signal function is returned to come out from the critical section. So if you remember the semaphore concept, so now we are relating that semaphore with this dining philosopher's problem. So initially, value of the semaphore variable is equal to 1. So I am representing all the forks by using this variable S0, S1, S2, S3, S4, S4. So these 5 forks are there, 5 semaphores are there, and value of all the semaphores it is equal to 1. This value is initialized to 1. Okay. Now here let us consider process P0. So here from this diagram you can observe that if the process P0, if the philosopher P0 want to perform the eating operation, if he want to eat, then he will execute this function, wait function. So for P0 the index value is 0. So this P0 he will execute this function take fork, and here value of I is equal to 0. So he will pick up the left hand side fork, that is S0. Then here value of I is equal to 0, so he will execute the next function, take fork function. So here value of I it is equal to 0. So here S0 plus 1. So 0 plus 1 means it is 1. 1 modulus 5 means it is 1. So here you will get S1. So P0 on the left hand side of P0 the S0 fork is there, and on the right hand side of P0 S1 fork is there. So P0 it required the fork S0 and S1. P1 it required the fork S1 and S2. P2 it required the fork S2 and S3, and P3 it requires the forks S3 and S4, and P4 it requires the fork S4 and S0 respectively. Consider the process P0, that is philosopher P0 arrives, and how now it avoids the rest condition or deadlock by using the semaphore. So initially value of the semaphore, that is S0 it is equal to 1. As here we are using the concept of semaphore, here value of S0, S1, S2, S3 and S4 it is equal to 1. Okay, so initially if the value of the semaphore variable is equal to 1, then only the process is able to enter into the critical section. If value of the semaphore variable is equal to 0, then process or philosopher is not able to enter into the critical section. This is the condition which is used in the semaphore. Okay, so initially value of the semaphore variable S0 is equal to 1, and value of the semaphore variable S1 it is equal to 1. Okay, so if both the values are 1, then only philosopher P0 is able to enter into the critical section. So after, what this philosopher P0 will do, so this process, I am using the word process also. So this process P0 it will enter into the critical section. Okay, now here when it will enter into the critical section, it will perform the down operation. Down operation का मतलब क्या होता है कि it will decrement the value of these semaphore variable S0 and S1 by 1. So it will decrement that value so that no other process will able to enter into the critical section. Okay, so now it will decrement the value of the semaphore variable S0 by 1. So S0 minus 1 means it is 1 minus 1, which is equal to 0. Then it will perform S1. which is equal to 1 minus 1, it is equal to 0. So now value of the semaphore variable S0 and S1, it is equal to 0. So because of that, none of the other process is able to enter into the critical section if they are using the semaphore S0 and S1. Okay. 1 minute. Okay. So now see. So what P0 will do now? Here ये values उसने down किया है, S0 का 0 किया, S1 का 0 किया. So P0 he will take the fork S0 and S1 because both are not busy. So both are present on the table. So he will pick up that fork S0 and S1 and he will perform the eat operation. So he will perform the eat operation. Now to come out from the critical section, what this P0 philosopher P0 will do? So philosopher P0 will execute the signal function. तो सिग्नल फंक्शन क्या होता है? तो सिग्नल फंक्शन में जो लेफ्ट हैंड साइड में फोक है वो टेबल पे रखेगा, जो राइट हैंड साइड में फोक है वो टेबल पे रखेगा और उसके बाद वो सेमाफोर की वैल्यू 1 से इंक्रीमेंट करेगा सो दैट other process which is using the semaphore S0 and S1 they are able to enter into the critical section. तो क्या ऑपरेशन होगा यहाँ पे? S0 की वैल्यू जो उसने डाउन की थी वो वैल्यू अब वो इंक्रीमेंट करेगा 1 से, मतलब S0 में वो 1 ऐड करेगा. So value of S0 it is equal to 1, value of S1 is equal to 1. So now value of S0 and S1 is equal to 1. So he will put down the fork S0 and he will put down the fork S1. So like this, this semaphore works over here. So it arrives. So when P0 is arrived, so value of all the semaphore variable it is equal to 1. So P0 it will enter into the critical section and here he will pick up the left hand side fork and right hand side fork. So for entering it into the critical section, it will decrement the value of S0 and S1 by 1. So in this tabular representation, you can observe that this value it is reduced to 0, 0. And then as value of S0 and S1 is equal to 0, P0 he can perform the eating operation. So he will eat. And then now let us consider that when P1 arrives, let us consider that P1 arrives and currently your P0 it is present in the critical section. He is performing the eating operation and here value of the semaphore variable S0 and S1 it is equal to 0, 0. And at the same time the another philosopher P1 it is entered into the critical section. One want to perform the eating operation, so that time he will require to use the left hand side fork, that is S1 and S2. So what P1 will do? So here P1 it will check the value of the semaphore variable. So value of the semaphore variable S1 is equal to 0 because S1 it is already used, P0 he is already using the S1 fork. तो बिकॉज ऑफ दिस ही मीन्स उसकी वैल्यू ऑलरेडी डाउन है, 1 से उसने 0 कन्वर्ट कर लिया है. सो इट विल चेक दैट वैल्यू ऑफ S1 इज इक्वल टू 0. So because of this S1 की value 0 है, so P1 is not able to enter into the critical section. And here as it is not able, he is not able to enter into the critical section to perform the eating operation. So what it will do? So your P1 it will enter into the block state. So P1 it will enter into the block state because he is not getting the resource which he required. So P1 it is blocked. It will enter into the block state. Now let us consider that P0 is using the critical section, P1 is blocked and process P2 arrives. So process P2 arrives, so philosopher P2 he required the S2 and S3 form. So what it will do? So P2 is arrived, so here P2 it will check the value of S2 and S3. So from this table value of S2 and S3 it is equal to 1. तो दोनों का वैल्यू 1 है, इसका मतलब है कि वो अभी यूज कर सकता है, दोनों फॉक्स यूज कर सकता है. इट इज नॉट शेयर्ड और इट इज नॉट यूज बाय द अनदर फिलोसोफर, दे आर नॉट यूजिंग इट. So what he will do? So he will perform the down operation. That is, he will convert the value of S2 and S3 to 0. So S2 की value 0 हो गई, S3 की value 0 हो गई, and because of this P2 he is able to eat. So now he is performing the eating operation. Okay. Now let us consider that currently P0 is performing the eating operation, P2 is performing eating operation, and P1 is blocked. And process P3 it arrives. तो प्रोसेस P3 अराइव हो गया, तो P3 के साइड में लेफ्ट हैंड साइड में S3 fork है and right hand side में S4 fork है. So here at first P3 will check that value of S3 it is equal to 0. So as it is already equal to 0, so ये वैल्यू 1 है तो ही P3 प्रोसेस सिमाफोर S3 यूज कर सकता है, that is fork S3 यूज कर सकता है. But as this value is already 0, that P3 it is also blocked. Okay, process P4 will come now. So process P4 will come. So P4 it required F4 and F0, that is S0 and S4 and S0. It will check S4 and S0 ka, because P0 is already using the S0 fork. So S0 fork he is already using that. So though the value of the S4 is 1, S4 की वैल्यू 1 है, तो लेफ्ट हैंड साइड में जो फॉक है वो उठा लेगा, लेकिन उसके राइट हैंड साइड में जो फॉक है दैट इज यूज्ड बाय दी P0. So because of this, what will happen here? That process P0 it will block. Okay. So here you can observe that at a time only two processes are able to use the critical section.